Jasmine Crockett thought she had Karoline Leavitt cornered, until Leavitt calmly spoke a single sentence that silenced the entire room. Before we dive into this intense exchange, drop a comment on where you're watching from and be sure to subscribe so you never miss a story. The hearing room was packed, every seat taken, cameras flashing, microphones ready. The air was thick with tension, like the eerie quiet before a storm. Karoline Leavitt, White House press secretary, sat at the witness table, composed, cold as steel. A sleek black blazer framed her poised figure, her sharp eyes locked straight ahead. She had no entourage, just herself, a glass of water, and an unshakable confidence. Then, the door burst open. Jasmine Crockett, Texas Congresswoman, stormed in like a force of nature, her red blouse as fiery as her presence. Her eyes were cold, cutting. She didn't spare Leavitt a glance. The cameras were already on her, and she knew it. The chairman slammed his gavel. Bang! The sharp sound echoed through the room. "This hearing on White House media accountability is now in session," he announced, though no one was really listening. All eyes were on them. Leavitt, Trump's spokesperson, was here to defend the administration. Crockett, the Democratic firebrand, was ready to tear her apart. The tension was suffocating. Another bang of the gavel. "We're here to examine the White House's role in managing public information," the chairman continued. His voice was firm, but the weight in the air refused to lift. Cameras zoomed in, their lenses fixed on Leavitt. The harsh lights cast sharp shadows on her face, emphasizing her icy calm, like she'd been in this storm 100 times before. Across from her, Crockett leaned forward, pen tapping rapidly against a thick stack of papers, her gaze sharp enough to cut glass. The chairman turned to Leavitt. "Miss Leavitt, you have 5 minutes for your opening statement." A faint hiss from the microphone as she pulled it closer. But her voice? It rang out clear and unwavering. "Thank you, Chairman, members of the House Oversight Committee," she began, her tone steady, confident. "I'm not here to apologize. I'm not here to make excuses. President Trump's administration stands for one thing: Americans have the right to speak freely. It's not our job to silence them. Not on X. Not anywhere. Whether you agree with them or not." She glanced briefly at Crockett, a flicker of challenge in her eyes, but not enough to crack her composure. The room went dead silent. Leavitt continued, her voice neither rushed nor loud, but cutting like a blade. "The White House doesn't dictate narratives. We don't need to. The people decide what they believe, what they say, what they hear. If some call that chaos, so be it. We call it real democracy, not something controlled by politicians or the media who think they have the right to decide for the public." She paused, took a slow sip of water, set the glass down with precision. "I know I'll be grilled today. That's fine. But don't expect me to apologize for letting Americans speak freely." She pushed the microphone away, sat back, hands clasped, unmoved. A scattered burst of applause, mostly from Trump supporters. But murmurs quickly drowned it out. The cameras panned to Crockett. She didn't clap, didn't smile. Her lips pressed tight. The pen, once tapping, was now gripped so hard her knuckles turned white. An aide whispered something to her, but she waved them off, her eyes locked on Leavitt like a hawk ready to strike. The chairman cleared his throat. "Thank you, Miss Leavitt. We'll move to questioning. Congresswoman Crockett, would you like to begin?" Crockett didn't even let him finish. She yanked the microphone closer, her voice cracking through the room like a whip. "Oh, I'd love to, Mr. Chairman." A few chuckles from her Democratic colleagues. But the room quickly grew heavy again. She jabbed a finger toward Leavitt. "No hesitation. No mercy. You just gave a lovely speech about democracy. So tell me, does real democracy mean allowing lies to spread unchecked on X? Letting this country tear itself apart? Or is that just an excuse for the White House to dodge accountability?" Leavitt didn't even blink. Her gaze met Crockett's. Steady, unwavering. "Congresswoman Crockett," she said smoothly, voice light but edged like a razor, "I don't think you actually want the real answer." A pause, just long enough to build tension. "But I'll give it to you anyway. she continued. We don't control X. We don't control the people. If you want to call something a lie, that's your choice. We call it truth. And truth isn't always what people want to hear. A flicker of a smirk, so small, yet so infuriating. And Crockett? Oh, she felt it. She leaned in, her voice rising. Truth, she scoffed. You're calling election conspiracies divisive rhetoric. Truth? You stand here as a White House representative and defend people being brainwashed in the name of free speech? I can't believe this. She turned to the audience, hand raised like she was rallying a crowd. This isn't democracy, she thundered. This is chaos. And your administration created it. The room stirred. Murmurs. A few nods. Others shaking their heads. Leavitt, still calm, responded coolly, Congresswoman, if you think the public isn't smart enough to tell truth from lies, then that's not a problem with us. It's a problem with you. The words sliced through the air like a dagger. Crockett slammed her palm on the table. Bang. Don't play innocent with me, she snapped, eyes blazing. The chairman's gavel pounded. Order. Order. But no one cared. Crockett stood, hands on her hips, staring Leavitt down like she wanted to burn through her with sheer fury. But Leavitt? She sat still, unshaken, watching Crockett's fire rage on, like an iceberg unmoved by the waves. And the room? It crackled with tension. One, a raging inferno. The other a wall of ice. And neither was back